My very first Wing Commander experience was on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. It was a game that I picked up for relatively cheap, and back in the early 90s, you could get games complete in box and you didn't have to pay an arm and a leg for them. I thought it was a pretty interesting concept, and as I played the game more, I was really fascinated by it. The game told a story through cutscenes, even though there were no voices, they were well animated, and once you got out into space, whether you were taking down enemy regular ships in like a dogfighting kind of deal, or whether you were taking down capital ships, or maybe you were escorting your own allied ships from place to place. The missions were varied, and even though the game was tough, I really did enjoy it. I will admit to the fact that back in the early 90s, you could get cheat codes for games, and once I did figure that out, it was more just trying to play through the game so I could check out the story. Something else in Wing Commander that I found very interesting was the fact that when crew members would die, they were gone for good. Once you lost those crewmates, if the Kilrathi took them down, the Kilrathi, of course, the cat-like creatures that we're fighting against in Wing Commander games, once you lost crewmates and they were gone for good, you felt affected. You saw their names on the kill board, on the leaderboard, and there was like a KIA, so you knew that they weren't there anymore, and it meant something. There was gravity to it. There was weight to it, and I thought that that was unique and that was interesting. I would wind up getting Wing Commander for the Sega CD like a year or two later, and that was neat because we actually got some voice here and there. The music was better quality, and I thought that that was pretty cool. And again, for the 3DO, I got Super Wing Commander, which is kind of like a souped-up version of the original game. Now, I did not play the PC original. I don't know a lot about the PC lineage of the games. I just know the console versions and how much I really enjoyed them. So when Wing Commander 3, which was available for the 3DO2, came out for the original PlayStation, I was all in. And one of the reasons for that was because of well-known actors playing roles in full-motion video sequences in the game. It was very much an interactive movie, although different than what we would seen in games like Dragon's Lair or Road Avenger or Space Ace or Time Gallery, Revenge of the Ninja. These were fully acted, decently budgeted full motion video sequences that were telling the kind of story that Chris Roberts had always wanted to tell. These roles were highlighted by actors like Mark Hamill, who of course played Luke Skywalker in the original Star Wars trilogy, and also Malcolm McDowell. Those are the two actors that kind of jumped to mind right off the top of my head. There was also Ginger Lynn Allen, who was an adult film star originally, but wound up making the jump to some games and doing some other things. So by and large, it was a really awesome cast, and I really liked the game. And again, just like the original Wing Commander, there were ways that you could play the game so you could see the story all the way through. And thanks to the miracle of modern technology, that being YouTube, you can watch the entire Wing Commander 3 story without struggling too much through the game, although you miss a lot of what the game is about. Just like the original Wing Commander games, you have escort missions, you have attack missions. There is an overarching story that you're definitely going to be interested in playing, and it really gets you hooked. Why am I talking about Wing Commander? Well, you know why I'm talking about Wing Commander, because I have a brand new copy of Wing Commander 4, The Price of Freedom, to open up for this episode of Unsealed. It has been a little bit of a wait while I've been working on getting some updated camera hardware and trying to figure out how I want to do things, and I think this is the way that I'm going to do it, at least here in the office, and I'll make another video about that some other time. But this right here is Wing Commander 4, The Price of Freedom, which came out for the PC first, and then came out for the PlayStation in 1997. I have talked a lot about the fact that 1997 is one of, if not my most favorite year in video game console history. And this is yet another game that you can add onto the list of games that I was interested in playing. Take off, take aim, take them out. That is what we have for the tagline there. And I know it's kind of tough to see because of the glare and things, but you can see the full motion video stills there with Mark Hamill and Malcolm McDowell. And I think we have some other cast members listed here. Jason Bernard, John Rhys-Davies, Tom Wilson. So this is a feature star-packed game. Again, the budget is way over the top and certainly well worth it. When we look at all the different things in the game, there is quite the laundry list. There are 3 different flight modes for both novice and advanced players. I, of course, being in the earlier set. Virtual physics with an ultra-realistic feel to flying. Well, that I think is kind of overdone. There would be better games that simulated flight. Of course, the Ace Combat games come to mind, but still, having these realistic flight modes certainly added some weight to the game. Sony dual analog and digital joystick support, so that's nice. We did have, not the DualShock yet, but we did have a dual analog controller that Sony had produced, and that is for use in this particular game. Choose your own destiny. Are you compassionate, and are you a hero, or are you a merciless avenger? So, unlike in Wing Commander 3, where the decisions you made kind of help determine who lived and who died, in this game you can choose which side you're fighting for, and I think that it makes this game very interesting indeed. 5 different control layouts, completely woven story featuring old friends and new comrades. You don't have to have played Wing Commander 3 to really understand this. I know that some people will say that you should, and obviously if you have the ability to do that, I would recommend it. But honestly, you can play this standalone and get a lot out of it. Top quality movies with Dolby surround sound. Back in 1996 and 1997, that was a huge deal, getting that awesome booming stereo sound quality from your PlayStation system. Stunning sci-fi special effects. I guess that works. Considering where we were in full motion video in 1996, 1997, yeah, I guess that counts. But reading that off today in 2021, probably not so much. Ensemble cast of favorites including Colonel Blair, Maniac, Paladin, and Tolwyn. So again, we have these featured characters from Wing Commander 3, and while it's beneficial if you played the game before this one, it is not a necessity. So the story here is that now that the bloody battle between the Kilrathi and the Terrans has been concluded, Kilrathi being those cat-like aliens and Terrans being Earthlings, the Confederation doesn't have to look very far to find its next adversary. Dun dun dun. So now what are we going to do? You as the Colonel, you are basically Luke Skywalker in this instance. You are Mark Hamill's character. Will be personally vaporizing the bad guys. Origin is woven guts and glory from frontline fighting with a star-studded cinematic plotline. It will take a quick mind and quicker reflexes to save the Confederation from its most insidious enemy to date. Sometimes the most dangerous foe you face is the one that's right in front of you that you're not looking at. And that is kind of the way that this game shakes out. So you can play as the part of the Confederation and trying to kind of clean up these pirates, or pirates in quotes, or there's something a little bit different going on and you can actually change alliances based on some things that you see in the story. And there are decisions that you can make here and there, and you can pick which thing you want to say or what action that you want Colonel Blair to take. It's not quite to the level of like Mass Effect, nothing really is these days, but still, it is an admirable attempt to try and make things interesting. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this guy open. You can see the ID label right there. I got this from Canada on eBay. I got a really good deal on this, I think. I had been waiting for the price on this to come down, and unfortunately, I think I blinked first, but that's okay. Because I really wanted to be able to open this. One of the situations with full motion video games when you're talking about the PlayStation is that if you don't get a new game, or if you don't get discs that are in great shape, the PlayStation will sometimes skip, which is not good when you're trying to watch full motion video sequences. So it's a good idea to have either really, really good condition discs, or particularly in this case, brand new discs. This has 4 CDs in there. 4. That's how much in the way of full motion video that we're talking here. It is not the underlying game that is taking a lot of the memory. It is the full motion video sequences. Let's go ahead and open this case, and when we do, and I have to kind of hold this to the camera a little bit strangely because the camera angle is a little bit different to my last camera. This is what you see. I'll show you what each of the discs looks like, but you see disc number 1 here. You see Wing Commander: The Price of Freedom here. That is the instruction manual. And I will take that out so we can look at it here together. This is Wing Commander Disc 2. I'm going to turn that around. So this is what you see. You see Disc 1 and Disc 2. And we have the instruction manual, which we're going to put right here on the computer. Then we open the other compartment. Whoa, a lot of stuff here. So in the other compartment, again, we're going to turn the disc around so you can see the artwork. So you have disc 3, as well as some other goodies, which we'll take out in just a moment. And I will show all of that off, I promise. And we have disc number 4. So 4 CDs. This is bigger than Final Fantasy VII. And that would come out later in 1997. So those are the discs right there. First thing you see is you get this little cheat sheet here, kind of like how PC games would get the little reference sheet to what keyboard commands do what. You're getting the same thing for the controller layout here. So you have a picture of the dual analog layout here, and you have images that show you what each button does right there. So that's the first thing you get. We have a little mini catalog of sorts from Electronic Arts, Origin, and Bullfrog. Origin and Bullfrog, of course, are long since gone. But we have Soviet Strike right here. Soviet Strike, another game that uses a lot of full motion video. Need for Speed, Road Rash, Fade to Black, and Space Hulk. Need for Speed and Road Rash were 2 games that were for the 3DO originally that were ported to the PlayStation. Fade to Black and Space Hulk are a little bit different. Wing Commander 4, Crusader No Remorse, and Syndicate Wars are the other games being advertised in this particular mini catalog. Also, we have our warranty card right here, and you've seen this warranty card time and again. I'm not going to read you everything that's on there. Of course, you do have to put a stamp on there and send it to San Mateo, California, if you care. Then we get not 1, but we get 2 instruction manuals. These guys right here, 2 instruction manuals. The first manual is the New Officer's Handbook, and this is going to walk you how to play the game if you are brand new. So it talks about the basics. How to start the game, how to save, to load on board the ship, how to talk to characters. Let's see if there's anything else that's here. The game flow map, which kind of shows you all the different decks and all the different rooms that you can be in. The main terminal, which you'll be using quite a bit. You save your game from there. You can also access the flight simulator and some other things. The duty roster, the kill board, which is basically the leaderboard. Ship configuration, you can change your loadout. As you play the game, more things will be unlocked and available for you. There's a whole laundry list of tips here, which I'm not going to go over right this moment, but you can certainly see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different tips, including you can fight the Seether. Seether, of course, now is like a heavy metal band. It walks you through the different ships, the Hellcat 5 and the Longbow. Some of these will look familiar to Wing Commander fans. The Banshee, the Vindicator. I love these ship designs, by the way. They look very cool, especially when they are in motion. The Avenger, which is a torpedo bomber. And then we have our list of credits here. Lion Entertainment is responsible for the port job to the PlayStation. We also have credits for film production, for original game development, artwork, administrative, audio, translation work. I think we're going to get some credits here in terms of who does what, in terms of cast, I think. So this cast is just absolutely amazing. Mark Hamill, Malcolm McDowell, John Rhys Davies, Jason Bernard, Tom Wilson, Robert Russler, Holly Gagne, Chris Mulkey, Jeremy Roberts, Richard Reel, Peter Jason, John Spencer, Jessica Tuck. I mean, the list goes on and on. It is literally 2 pages or a page and a half worth of acting credits in this particular game. And of course, Origin product support, which unfortunately is no longer a thing. Then we have the battle book, which is this guy right here. This talks you through how to actually dogfight or how to actually approach capital ships, and also what to expect when you're in flight. You can see your cockpit there. There is a bunch of different stuff that you see on the screen, so this is a good idea to read this. Unlike later space flight games, you really need to be able to look at the documentation before you just start digging in and playing, because there's a lot to learn. And you have to remember that this was originally a PC game, so there are a bunch of different keyboard commands that you could execute, and in this particular game, you don't have a keyboard in front of you, so you're using a PlayStation controller, and as such, you need to learn what each of the buttons do. Talks you through the radar, the gun sight. Of course, you have to lead your shots so that they hit ships. It's not something that everything locks on. You issue wingman orders. I mean, the list just goes on and on. There's autopilot here. I mean, it's something you really need to read through if you're playing this for the first time. Those of you who are Wing Commander veterans know how a lot of this stuff works, and you really don't have to read this through all that much. But you can see here, like, they walk you through each of the layouts, so you know kind of what does what, and you need to know that, especially when you're in the heat of battle and your action controller layout is in the back of the manual. So there's a lot of stuff in there. This is an awesome game, and I cannot wait to play through it. I have Wing Commander 3 as well, but it's missing the instruction manual. I've actually been kind of trying to get my eye on a long box version of Wing Commander 3, but the issue is, like I said, if you are buying a Wing Commander game for the PlayStation, you need to make sure the discs are in good shape. And when you're buying from eBay, you can't always be sure. As always, I thank you very much for watching this episode of Unsealed. I apologize for the lateness in getting these out, but hopefully they will be out more often very soon. Until the next time, my friends, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll do it again really, really soon. See you later.